So I read this book called The Call of the Wild. It was okay. It would have been great if it wasn't for all of the violence in it. The violence was very graphic, so I didn't like it. I once watched a few movies about dog sledding and winter survival. It was sorta like this book, but it was better. In those movies there were many things the same, like a dog being an outcast, just like Buck being outdone by Spitz. Another thing the same was that all the dogs in these stories have had to survive in the freezing cold weather and the people running the sleds. I feel like every dog sledding book or movie is the same. They all have to survive, they are all outcasts, they all starve, they all suffer, blah, blah, blah. To be honest, I was lying. I didn't really like the book. Because of the violence and also because the chapters were very long. When I was reading The Hunger Games, the chapters were pretty short, but it is almost like short chapters are optical illusions, because I wanted to keep reading. But with this book, I did not. I also didn't like it because I found it very predictable. Like when John said that Buck can pull 1,000 pounds in a sled, and the people bid him $1,000, I knew that he would be able to do it. They went outside, started hollering and cheering, and I knew that he would be able to do it. I honestly felt like Jack London didn't know how to leave a cliffhanger, or stump us on the chapters. What I liked about this book is that it was very well worded, and it was also very touching at some points. When John came into the story, I loved it. Because John was such a nice man and Buck loved him and followed him so much the violence was likely to be gone. It was also touching because Buck loved him so much that when someone harmed John, Buck wanted to kill them. Even though it was violence, it was not gruesome. It was also nice and sad that when John told Buck to jump off a cliff, it took 3 people to hold Buck back. I don't know if John was mad at Buck or he was just joking. Anyways, he said it. I also liked how Jack London really built Buck's character up and he made him have many different sides. In the beginning, Buck was very shy and he did not want to fight at all. But then when Spitz took his bed, that was it. Even the slightest kerfuffle with Spitz made him flip out. When he saw Spitz fighting with another dog, Buck would fight Spitz and break up the other fight. One day he got himself into a win-or-die situation and they fought and fought, and of course just when I thought Buck was going to die, he sprang up and bit Spitz in the neck. And of course Spitz died and Buck becomes the leader. At the end of the book, Buck and John came to a place and Buck became the leader of a wolf pack, and John got killed by a bunch of yeehaws.